All good to go?
Yes.
So morning everyone, I'm Inspector Mick Turnbull from Traffic Services Branch. I've just come in this afternoon now, to speak about the incredibly tragic weekend we've had with 4 fatals, lives lost over the weekend. I can just understand that some of you were wanting an update on the Brinkley crash, which is happened at 6:30 this morning. A 40-year-old from Lakes Plains is in a critical condition and remains in hospital in that state, which is tragic for him and the family. We continue to talk about this type of road trauma. We've had 38 lives lost. Sorry, I'll just start that again. 38% of lives lost have been contributed to dangerous road use, and 29% surprisingly to seatbelts. Now, why people aren't actually wearing their seatbelts is astounding, really, because it's part of our road safety campaigns for many, many years. We've had 56 lives lost, and we've compared to 38 this time last year. I would go through every single crash, but I think you're well aware of what's gone on with all of those, so I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
They've all been very different circumstances.
Yeah, they have, yes. Yep.
What can you tell us about?
So we have contributing factors of speed, which is part of that dangerous road use, potentially some distraction as well. The Findon one was with the motorcycle, not wearing a helmet, inappropriate speed, all those sorts of things.
And they're not wearing seatbelts. That is astonishing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
How many years, decades that seatbelts have
That's
been.
right. Road safety campaigns have been going on for a long time about seatbelt wearing, placards on freeways and highways, because sometimes we can't reach everyone. They don't watch the TV or they don't read a newspaper. We reach those people by putting advertisements on main roads.
Can you tell us if any of these accidents have been due to road conditions or weather conditions?
Not necessarily, no. I think what we see generally is distraction when people are driving or riding. We have a lot of intrusion into that driving. The fundamental reason you're trying to stay safe is concentrate on driving the car or riding the motorcycle, and people are getting distracted by mobile phones, features in the car. We have safety features in vehicles, but sometimes people are getting alerts and getting distracted from the actual task, which is actually driving. Yeah.
Where are these crashes occurring? Is it mainly regional?
So it is a regional areas. We had 60% of fatal road crashes have been in regional areas, yes. Hence why we focus a lot of our enforcement activities in those regions, which includes the education side of things, where we have our road safety educators go to those regional areas and conduct training, learnings with the kids.
Do you have a percentage on mobile phone use?
So distraction, I don't have the percentage here, but that's certainly part of the fatal 5, yes, and that goes to all sort of mobile phone use, whether it's alerts going off on your smartwatch, all those sorts of things are all part of that distraction, yeah.
Can you confirm if the Findon accident, whether that bike was stolen?
No, I don't believe it was stolen. I think the bike actually belonged to him, yeah. Yep.
Just on the difference between the fatalities this year as compared to last year, are police concerned about how grave those figures are apart?
Well, it's incredibly sad for all the families and all the people involved. The trauma goes past the people actually hurt and lose their lives. It goes on for many, many years. And I guess we're always trying to promote road safety campaigns that you would have seen. There's been lots of it on TV, in cinemas, online. But if people who are going to drive like that are actually watching that content, that's the challenge for us. And we'll continue to enforce and educate the way we have for many years. But the way the stats the numbers have gone up this year, I can't really explain why that's the case.
Have they all been males, or is there a mixture of male and female, and age groups? Can you sort of paint a picture there?
So the main people involved are males. Historically, we've seen the older road user group feature in the lives lost, and also that sort of around 20-25 areas. Well, I don't have the percentages off the top of my head though.
Is it male and female?
Predominantly male.
Sorry,
yeah.
And age groups?
Yeah, so that older age group and the 20 to 25s, yeah.
We're obviously heading into the school holiday period. What's your safety message to families on the road?
So when you are travelling long distances, you need to plan your trip. Fatigue's obviously a feature in road trauma as well. And some of the crashes over the last 12 months where people have gone on the incorrect side of the road, making bad choices to overtake because they're losing patience, that's the main danger here. We need to stay calm, patient, and if you're going to take a risk, don't, because you just need to do what you're supposed to be doing, which is driving the car safely and not go on the incorrect side of the road because you're getting impatient because you need to get where you're going. Yeah.
Country drivers tend to have a bit of complacency about them because they think they know the area. That sort of thing.
I'm not sure about complacency. I think there's some risks on regional roads that we probably don't see in metro, particularly around Sunset, where wildlife, when they come onto the road, cause a huge risk for all road users. Sometimes people have serious crashes avoiding those animals that are on the road, and people might think that's ridiculous, but some people in the regional areas will tell you that's exactly the case around Sunset. That becomes a real issue.
Is this time of year with roads more slippery, more dangerous for drivers, or is it all year round?
I think with the weather factor, certainly when the visibility is reduced and the roads are wet, you need to put that risk into your driving and drive appropriately. We talk about it all the time about driving to the conditions, and people just think it's a throwaway line, but it actually is real. If you can't see, if there's fog, you either pull over or you reduce your speed. Yeah.
The crash at OB Flat, on that Saturday, I think, 17-year-old cyclist was killed. Do you know any details about that? Was she riding on the footpath? Was she on the road? Is the driver alleged to have mounted the curb?
We sort of can't go into details about, because that person will be before the court, the offending driver, so I can't give you any more than what we've already put out, I'm afraid, for that one.
And the 38% dangerous driving stat that you said, what kind of dangerous driving are we seeing?
So excessive speed, sustained wheel spins, all that sorts of stuff, misuse of a motor vehicle, that's the sort of thing we're talking about. Just this morning we've had some serious crashes in the metro area, and a lot of that, from what I've seen, because I drove past some of them on the way into work, is tailgating. People just lose patience, they're tailgating, getting aggressive, people are fearful that they're going to be crashed into, do things that they probably normally wouldn't do. And what people need to realise is if you have a crash and you've caused that crash, then potentially you could lose your car, lose your licence, and then your insurance company doesn't want to insure you anymore because you've got a driving history. Then that's the message we're trying to get out to people. You might not get hurt, but the consequences are huge. If you need your vehicle for your job, then you probably won't be able to do it anymore if you don't have your car.
How would you describe that behaviour from people?
It's impatience. People have got losing respect for other road users. That's what I'd say it is. You need to show respect on the road because it is actually a privilege to drive, and that's why we have licences and insurances and things like that.
And for fatalities, are there grave fears for other people who are in hospital?
Yes, so the one that we spoke about at Brinkley, he's in a critical condition. So, and we've obviously at the scene at 8 Mile Creek in the southeast as well, got a major crash on the way to a job down there as well.